that. I'm just gonna come back to taking advantage of, because this I can get it back more out of the way. I could have asked you to. Good evening, Rampage family. Okay. Yeah, I'll survive. Good evening, Rampage family. Welcome back. Game 2 on the weekend. Tonight's matchup is against the Buffalo Jr Sabres. The game earlier today, the Rampage pulled off a pretty exciting win in a shootout against the Cleveland Barons. And not for nothing, but a fun fact is this weekend, all of the teams that we are playing against this weekend are ranked higher than we are. The Cleveland Barons were the highest ranked team that we're going to play against this weekend. So coming off with a win this morning is a very big deal. And you should be proud of the boys. I know you are. I am too. And hopefully they're carrying some momentum, good vibes into this game and ready to go and put up a good fight against this game. Against this team. Sorry. In case I didn't mention it earlier, I'm a little under the weather this weekend, so I'm even more dumber than usual and a little absent-minded and whatnot. So I will apologize for coughing into the microphone on occasion, and I will just try to do the best I can to keep my voice going and let you guys know what's going on. I appreciate everybody tuning in, giving me something to do, make me feel responsible for this job that I love so much, which is sharing what's going on in the hockey game with all of you at home. Hopefully, boys had a chance to get some food, get a little bit of rest through the middle of the day, and hopefully they are just fired up and ready to go. All right, boys are fired up, pep talked up. That was hard to say. And we're ready to start period number 1. Wow. Got 17 minutes up on the clock. We'll get ready to go here for period number 1 shortly. Out on the ice to get us started, it would appear we've got Whitted, Drexel, Banyan, Bisley, and Bennett with Ryder Shields in net. All right, here we go. Face off, period number 1. Rampage win the draw. Back to Bisley on the near side. He's going to dump it into the zone. Rampage give chase. He's going to rim around the boards to the far side. Comes up and out. Bennett's going to recollect. Over to Bisley. Bisley chips it forward. Drexel backhands it into the zone. Buffalo making a move down low. They're going to send it around the boards to the far side. Comes up to the point, but not out, and then now they are going to skate it out to neutral. Buffalo player picks it up with speed into the zone, passes it to the outside, and the puck is going to dribble towards Ryder Shields, who covers it up. And we get a stoppage. We'll have a face-off in the Rampage zone. 16:34 left in period number 1. Out on the ice, we've got Whittingham, Friedis, Butler, White, and Dormer. Buffalo wins the draw up to the point. Fed down the wall on the far side, up and out. Shot goes off of a skate, ends up on the near side wall. They're going to dump it back behind. Centering pass goes just wide of the net. Puck to the near side. Tied up on the near side boards. Buffalo skates off with it. Shot goes off of a boot and ends up to the far side. Whittingham's going to turn and clear it up to Friedis. Friedis backhands it into the zone. He's going to go to the bench for a change. Buffalo with it behind their own net. Up the near side, deflects off of a stick and hits the netting and gets stuck just outside the glass in the netting. Should have a face-off right at the center dot, I believe. Out on the ice, we've got Flanagan, Sarver, Judkins, Fewer, and Espirito. Rampage win the draw. Sarver sends it across to the far side. Fewer skates it up, takes the red line. He's going to dump it in. Puck back behind the Buffalo net. It ends up in the near side corner. Out front, Judkins takes a shot from the top of the circle. The goaltender has it in his glove. He's going to hang on. 15:41 left in period number 1. Face off in the Buffalo zone. Puck down low into the corner. Judkins gets a stick on it, sends it up to the point, but nobody's home. It's going to go the distance. Play will continue. Espirito sends it over to the far side to Fewer. Fewer sends it up, and then off a stick, it stays in the zone. Now it gets flipped up to neutral ice. Buffalo takes it into the Rampage zone. Quick move, loses the handle, and Shields is going to cover it up. So we have a stoppage. We get a face-off in the Rampage zone. Out on the ice, we've got Roberts, Foster, Root, Bennett, and Bisley. Rampage win the draw. Bisley's going to change direction, send it over to the near side, up to the point but not out. Root clears it up and out. Play will continue. Roberts is in on the forecheck. Buffalo skates to the far side. Neutral ice now into the Rampage zone on the far side. Shot taken. Shields with the save. He's going to hang on. Out on the ice, we get Drexel, Banyan, Whitted to join Bisley and Bennett. Tied up on the draw. Buffalo unable to get a shot off initially. They feed it up to the point on the near side in the shot, and Shields was he waved it off. There was a Buffalo Jr Sabres player sitting on top of Shields, just outside the crease. So, what was a shot from the point into an empty net? No, and thankfully they saw it. So out on the ice, we've got Dormer, Butler, Whittingham, Freitas, and White. Puck bouncing around out front. Shields has to make a save. A couple of them, in fact. Puck down low. White's going to pick it up. He's up and out of the zone. Takes the red line. Into the Sabres zone now. Sabres coming back the other way. Off of a body. Freitas is going to turn, dump it in. Puck rims around to the far side. Dormer's in on the far wall. Tries to tie things up. Rampage getting some fresh skaters out on the ice. Buffalo clears it out to neutral. Espirito turns it at the wall, tries to feed it up. Fewer wrangles it in. He's going to chip it into the zone. And we get a whistle for icing. 14:03 faceoff will be back in the Rampage zone. Out on the ice, we've got Sarver, Judkins, Flanagan, Espirito, and Fewer. Puck comes up to the point. Shot goes wide, ends up on the far wall. Flanagan gets there, sends it across off a Judkins stick. It's going to go into the zone. Judkins gives chase. Oh, down in the corner, hangs an edge in a weird way, but bounces right back up again. Flanagan with a shot, sends it up and over to the near side. Bisley pinching in, and the puck goes up into the netting and out of play. 13:32 left in period number 1. We'll get a face-off in the Buffalo zone. Out on the ice, we've got Foster, Root, Rahojian, Bisley, and Bisley and Butler. Up to Bisley, quick shot, he goes just wide of the net. Bisley wrangles it in at neutral, sends it over to Butler on the near side. Up the wall for Root. A little back and forth, and the puck's going to end up in the Buffalo zone. Flipped up and out to neutral, bouncing around, and now Butler's going to knock it down. He takes the red line. He's going to poke it into the zone. Buffalo has it. They send the puck across ice to the far side, into the Rampage zone on the far side, dropped into the corner. Shot deflects up into the ceiling and out of play. 12:57 left in period number 1. Faceoff will be in the Rampage zone. Out on the ice, we've got Bennett, White, Whitted, Banyan, Drexel. All tied up on the draw. White's going to send it over to Bennett on the near side. Up to Drexel. Still bouncing around at neutral. It's going to go to the far side. It's back into the Rampage zone. Bennett gets a stick on it. Whitted sends it up to Banyan. Banyan up to Drexel. Drexel pokes it through. He's going to give chase. He's being interfered with on the way in, but let's go in just enough time. Puck comes up the far side wall. Back into the zone, and Buffalo is going to regroup. Across to the near side. Back into the Rampage zone. Centering pass. It bounces around and ends up on the far wall. Up to Drexel. Ships it, and now it gets cleared out. Dormer's going to pick it up. Dormer's in the zone 1-on-4. Tries to make a move. I think he thought he got tripped, but honestly, I think he skated into the other player, and they just got mixed up together. Espirito turns around at neutral ice. Whittingham changes direction. He's back in the zone. Whittingham slides it in. Goaltender makes a save. Goes to the far wall. And now it comes up and out. Whittingham wrangles it back in. Backhands it. And Dormer's going to send it hard into the zone and go for a change. Buffalo skates it up the near side. Now they're going to pass it. Doesn't connect. That's icing. We get a whistle. Faceoff will be back in the Buffalo zone. 11:33 left in period number 1. Out on the ice, Sarver, Flanagan, Judkins, Butler, and White. Rampage win the draw. Butler across to White on the far side. Shot deflects up and over, ends up in the corner in the near side. Puck up the wall. Butler sends it in high and wide and ends up on the far wall. Buffalo comes skating out. Back down to White. White rims it around the boards to the far side. Buffalo holding at the point. Flanagan with a check and a takeaway. White skates through, takes the far side. White with the shot, goes off the iron and ends up in the near corner. Puck comes up and then is held in the zone by Judkins. Oh, it bounces out, and Sarver just couldn't quite wrangle it in. Up the wall, and now Buffalo's coming out of the zone. Move it, neutral ice. They're going to dump it into the Rampage zone. They're going to go for a change. Bennett comes back to pick it up. Rims around the boards to the near side. Bennett flips it up into the Buffalo zone where they regroup. They send it across to the far side. Up the wall on the far side, off the stick, and into the Rampage zone. Fewer has to come back for it. He's got a couple of Buffalo players crashing in. Tied up down low in the corner. Off the wall now. And now Rahosian's going to turn with it. Feeds it up to Roberts. Roberts comes through. He gets tripped on his way in. No call. Puck changes direction. Up and out of the zone. Played with the high stick into the zone. But it gets poked by Rampage player first. Up the wall. Rahosian feeds it up and out. Little back and forth. Espirito pokes it up. Whitted pulls it off the wall. Whitted sends it in from outside the zone. Goaltender makes a save. It ends up down low. Whitted puts pressure on. Bandy gets in there, mixes things up. Puck ends up in the near side corner. Drexel comes in. Changes direction. Back into the corner. Out to Whitted. Down low. Back into the corner. Up to Drexel, fed up to the point to Espirito. Fed through, but doesn't make it to the goaltender. Ends up in the near corner. Now back behind. Puck rims around the boards to the far side. Buffalo now sends it and clears it. And we get a whistle for icing. 9:09 left in period number 1. Face-off will be back in the Buffalo Jr Sabres zone. Out on the ice, we've got Dormer, Friedis, Whittingham, White, and Bennett. Just to be clear, I wasn't laughing at you. I was laughing because I had exactly the same reaction, and then I saw you waved it off, and I'm like, okay, we're okay. Okay. Puckins up the near side corner. Whittingham tying things up down low, up the wall. Friedis tries to keep it, and it comes up and out. Bennett's going to send it in. Rampage have to tag up. They do so. Jr Sabres send it up. That doesn't connect, and we get a whistle for icing. So the faceoff's going to come back to the Buffalo Jr Sabres zone. And we've got players talking a little after the whistle, specifically somebody that was just threw an elbow at Jack Whittingham, which I will tell you is a kind of a mistake. Because Whittingham is a unit, as they say. Buffalo coming back through. They're going to take it to the far side into the Rampage zone. Up, shot taken, body's in the way. It ends up down low into the corner. Up to Friedis. Friedis turns with it. And it's comes through down low. Dormer tries to center it, and Sabres are going to clear. Sabres coming back the other way. Lose the handle. Now fed across, and a nice save by Shields. That was a nice pass to the back door by Buffalo, and a nice save by Ryder. Buffalo's going to dump it into the Rampage zone. Down low. Espirito changes direction. Fewer's going to pick it up, sends it up to Root. Root, cross-ice pass for Sarver. Sarver threads through, feeds it over to Judkins. Judkins takes a shot, sticks in the way, and it kind of stops where it is. Now Espirito is going to send it in from the point. Puck runs around to the far side. Up to Butler, who sends it back into the Buffalo zone. Buffalo with the puck. Cross to the near side, bouncing around, and back into the Buffalo zone with it. Buffalo turns. They're going to dump it into the Rampage zone. Ends up back behind. And up and out of the zone. Buffalo's going to turn with it to the near side. Pass across. Comes up but not out. Down low and then stuck on the wall on the far side. Pass out front. Doesn't connect. It's going to come up to the point, but again not out. Buffalo holding in the zone. Judkins sends it around to the near side. Butler picks it up. Quick move. And now Sarver's going to clear it up and out to Root. Root skates in. Buffalo with a quick takeaway. They're going to make a move back behind their net. Flip up and out. Now Buffalo with it in the Rampage zone. Move made to the far wall. Pass comes up and out of the zone. Buffalo's going to turn and dump it. They have to tag up. They do so. Puck to the far corner. Then it changes directions. Sends it back to the near side. Tied up on the near side wall. Roberts is being held pretty good. Puck goes down low. Bennett sends it up the wall. It's going to bounce up and out. Flanagan's going to give chase on the forecheck. Buffalo has it in their own zone. Send it across to the near side. Down low, into the corner. Roberts gets in there. Looks like Buffalo is going to skate it to the far side. Sends a stretch pass. It doesn't connect, but it's going to go just wide and icing just burly. So we get a whistle. Face-off will be back in the Buffalo zone. 5 minutes and 48 seconds left in period number 1. On the ice, we've got Banyan, Whitted, Drexel, Bisley, and Fewer. Rampage win the draw up to the point. Fewer's going to backhand it down low. Banyan in the mix, back by the net. Drexel tries to wrangle it in, sends it back low again, and we have a penalty coming for a trip to Buffalo. So with 5:38 left in period number 1, Rampage will go on their first power play of the game. Out on the ice to get us started on the power play, we've got Dormer, Whittingham, Banyan, White, and Friedis. Puck goes back into the corner. Buffalo's going to wrangle it in. They're going to clear it the distance, and it's going to come back to Ryder Shields, who's going to leave it for Trent White. White picks it up behind the net, makes a move. He comes skating out, feeds it up to Whittingham. Whittingham wrangles it in. He's into the zone. To the outside, that was a hit to the face mask. Holy crap, and we've got another penalty coming. So with 5:13 left in period number 1, we're going to have 1 minute and 35 of 5-on-3 time. Out on the ice to get us going for the 5-on-3 power play. We have the same group out as before. We've got Dormer, Whittingham, Friedis, White, and Butler. Rampage win the draw. Dormer over to Butler, back to White. Down to Dormer, back up to White, over to Butler. Shot from the circle. Goaltender makes a save. It ends up in the corner. Friedis gets there. He's going to feed it up to Butler. Over to White. Shot taken. Oh, goaltender got a piece. That went into the corner. Friedis sends it over to White. White with the shot, feeds it through. Goaltender makes a save. Into the corner. Friedis up to Butler. Quick shot. Goaltender with a save. Tried to stuff it. The puck is still loose. Ends up in the near side corner. White across to Butler. Quick shot. Goaltender tips it up. Dormer has to knock it down. Gets tied up down low. Up to White. White over to Butler. Back to White. Down low to Friedis. Up to Butler. 42 seconds left in 5-on-3 time. Set down low to Dormer on the back door. So 4:17 left in period number 1. The Rampage go up by score 1-0 on a power play goal to Gavin Dormer. Nice work, nice passing. A couple of good shots, good opportunities, and the goaltender made a couple of good saves, and then Rampage are able to find an answer. So we will continue with... I don't know, whatever it was, it worked. Out of the ice to take over for the 5-on-4, we've got Drexel, Whitted, Sarver, Bennett, and Root. Drexel skates the puck into the zone, backhands it. Ooh, Sarver was down there waiting. Drexel with it on the far side, up to Root on the blue line. Over to Bennett, down to Drexel. Back across to Root. Quick poke check, and the puck comes out of the zone. Rampage have to tag up. They're going to regroup. 41 seconds left on the power play. Bennett's going to regroup behind his net, skates to the far side. Kicks it out looking for Root, and now the puck ends up in the Buffalo zone. Root gets there, sends it up the wall on the far side. And now Buffalo coming back the other way, one-on-one into the zone. Quick move down low. Puck ends up in the corner. Sends off the side of the net. Drexel's going to wrangle it in. He turns, makes a move to the outside. Drexel takes the red line. He's going to dump it in, and he's going to go for a change. Just 8 seconds left on the power play. Rahojan drives it down the wall on the far side. Feeds it up to Root at the point. Root makes a move. Quick move, and goaltender made a save, but I don't know if he knew that he had it at first. That's that same kid that took a shot at Jack Whittingham afterwards. So I'm watching that number from now on. 3:06 left in period number 1, face off in the Buffalo zone. Out on the ice, we've got Rahojan, Foster, Roberts, Espirito, and Fuhrer. Puck goes towards the goaltender. He's going to cover it up. So we'll get one more just like before. No, I guess they did. Well, you just can't get good help these days, Sonia. Buffalo sends it up and out. It's back into the zone. Espirito has to race for it. He's got a player on him. Pinned up against the boards. Pass out front. Up to the point. Buffalo sends it across to the far side. Shot, body's in the way. Rahojian flips it up in the air. Roberts gets there. He skates through. Drops it for Rahojian. It's in his skates. Buffalo sends a stretch pass across. And we've got a penalty come into the Rampage for a rough. .218 left in period number 1. Rampage are going to be on a penalty kill for the first time this game. Out on the ice to get us started on the PK. We've got Bisley, Bennett, Whittingham, and Whitted. Rampage win the draw, but up to the point, not out. Buffalo sends it across to the near side. Nice poke check by Whittingham. He has been on fire on the penalty kill today. Buffalo with it, regrouping at neutral ice. Shields plays it up the boards to a Buffalo player. Trapped on the far wall. They're going to send it up to the blue line. Back down. Puck comes across to the near side point. Saucer pass across to the circle. And then back to the near side point. Down low, centering pass. It doesn't connect. That's going to come up and out of the zone. 1:17 left on the penalty kill. Rampage are going to get a full change. Foster in on the forecheck. Buffalo skates to the near side. Held up on the way in, and now Shields holds it. He's going to leave it for Butler to rim it around the boards. Comes up and out. Takes a weird bounce. And back into the Buffalo zone. Buffalo regroups in their zone with it. 52 seconds left on the penalty kill for the Rampage. Buffalo skates to the far side. They're going to dump it in. It's back behind it. Oh! Freeman. Butler just... Ouch. I'm pretty sure he just took a header into the side of the net and knocked the net off its moorings. Out on the ice to take over on the penalty kill, we've got Whitted, Banyan, White, and Butler. Tied up on the draw. Butler gets there, sends it up the boards, takes a weird bounce again. Taking advantage of those weird glass bounces, but we'll take it for now. Buffalo skates out to the near side, dump it into the Rampage zone, rims around the boards to the far side. And Flanagan's going to pick it up. He carries it up and out and into the Buffalo zone. Holds up on the near side boards, sends it towards the goaltender, turns it aside, ends up on the far wall. Buffalo picks it up, sends a stretch pass over to the near side. They're into the zone now. Flanagan gets in there and clears it back out again. 1 second, and Rampage are back at full strength. Buffalo sends it up the near side wall, into the Rampage zone. Down into the corner. Freitas ties things up. Esperito's in there too. 5 seconds left in the period. Up to Freitas, who sends it up but not out. Buffalo sends it back down low, and time expires on period number 1. Your score after 1 is 1-0 in favor of your Colorado Rampage based on a 5-on-3 power play goal. It's nice to see the Rampage boys able to take advantage of that. It's nice to see the boys moving the puck on the power play.
Brought to you by Goalie Gum.
Sponsored.
What kind of Goalie Gum? Because they do not pay for their advertising.
That's right. Well, earlier today I did say that our power play was sponsored by the Omaha Mastery live stream. Because we here at Empty Pockets Hockey have no sponsors. But apparently the Omaha Mastery live stream has lots of sponsors. All right, out on the ice to get us going for period number 2. We've got Banyan, Whitted, Drexel, Bisley, and Bennett. Buffalo sends the puck into the Rampage zone. Down low into the corner, Bennett sends it around to Bisley. Bisley up the wall, Drexel off the wall. Buffalo keeps it in the zone. Comes back to Whitted, who sends it up to Drexel. Drexel feeds it up, looking for Banyan. Banyan just can't quite get there. Buffalo turns it around. Bennett turns, flips it up in the air, back into the Buffalo zone. Whitted in on the forecheck. Buffalo makes a move in the corner, sends it up the near side wall. Puck back into the Rampage zone. And I don't know what was going on, but we had some kind of a wrestling match right at the blue line. Puck sent, it's going to sneak through. Shields with the save. Puck ends up back behind. Up the wall on the far side. Quick shot. Shields with the save. He's going to cover it up. 16:09 left in period number 2. We're going to face off in the Rampage zone. Out on the ice, we've got Whittingham, Freitas, Dormer, Butler, and White. Tied up on the draw. Buffalo's got a stick on it. They send it down low. White is going to change direction to the far side. Butler sends it up the wall, comes up and out. Dormer just slips the jab. Comes back to Freitas, and now Rampage into the zone. Whittingham on the far side. Whittingham picks it up back behind the net. Takes another big hit up high. They love throwing elbows at Jack Whittingham's head tonight. Puck comes up just outside the zone and tied up on the wall. It is just a pile of bodies. I don't know who has the puck. And it ends up back into the Buffalo zone down low. Sarver in on the forecheck. Buffalo changes direction, sends it up the wall on the near side. Kick it to the outside wall. Quick move down low. Centering pass. Puck ends up in the far corner. Buffalo's going to regain control. Turns and fires it into the near side corner. Puck into the far corner now. Tied up in the far corner. We've got Espirito and Judkins in the mix. Up the wall, the Sarver. Sarver's going to turn with it. Sarver feeds it through to Flanagan. Flanagan's got some room all by himself. Tommy Flanagan! It's going to bury it. So 14:42 left in period number 2. Sarver finds Flanagan in open ice. Flanagan with a little space is going to just roof it top shelf. Out on the ice, we've got Bisley, Bennett, Foster, Roberts, and Root. Buffalo wins the draw, back into their own zone. Up the wall, and Foster keeps it just in the zone initially, and then it comes just out. Pinned on the far wall, and now Buffalo's going to turn with it. Sent in on net. Out to Bisley on the far side. Up the wall, off of Foster's skate, and now Roberts sends it out of the zone. Root gets there, chips it forward. Buffalo has the puck back. Back into the Buffalo zone. Pass across to the near side. Off of a stick and into the zone, and they're going to whistle for icing. I actually, had it been us, I would have disagreed. 14:03 left in period number 2. Faceoff's going to be in the Buffalo zone. Out on the ice, we've got Drexel, Whitted, Banyan, Butler, and White. Tied up on the draw. Buffalo gets there first. They send it up and out. Skated through to the far side. It's into the Rampage zone down low. Drexel is in there in the mix. Butler is standing by. Puck goes up the far wall. Still in the zone. Buffalo with it down low. Centering pass, and Shields has to make a save. The puck ends up back behind. Butler picks it up behind the net. Skates up the near side. Butler's through into the Buffalo zone. He's going to skate it down low. Centers the pass. It bounces on him and ends up on the far wall. Puck comes up, and now it's out. And into the Rampage zone. A nice poke check is going to send it out of that zone. Banyan comes back into the zone with it. Sauces it around to White. White sends it on the near side, bounces up off a player and back into the Buffalo zone. Puck comes up. Fewer's going to have to turn around and race for it on the way back. He's got a player on him. Skates into the far side. Fewer makes a move. He's through neutral. Fewer with a head of steam into the Buffalo zone. Shot. Goaltender makes a save. Comes up to the point. Espirito tries to feed it through. Goaltender makes a save. Bounces around. Oh, they waved it. It didn't go in. We all thought it went in. And change of direction. The linesman is all kinds of in the way. Up to Dormer. Dormer turns. Centers it across to Freitas. Freitas takes a shot. Goes up and over. Buffalo's going to regain control behind their net. We all thought the puck went in the net, but a little while back. 12-10 left in period number 2. We get an icing whistle. Face off back in the Buffalo zone. On the ice, we've got Sarver, Flanagan, Judkins, Bisley, and Bennett. The puck comes up the near side. Fed across. Sarver tries to take a shot, sticks in the way, and ends up in the far corner. Puck down low. Buffalo turns with it, sends it up and out. Bennett's got it. He's going to dump it in on the near side. Rampage have to tag up. They do so. Buffalo has the puck on the far side. Buffalo sends it up and out. Fed through, and now Buffalo's going to dump it on the far side. They have to tag up. They're still off. He still has his hand in the air. Puck comes up to Flanagan. Sarver's going to dump it into the far corner and go for a change. Buffalo skating out near side with speed. They're going to dump it in. Butler has it on the near side. He makes a quick move. He's going to go back behind his net and regroup. Backhands it up, looking for Root. Root sends it off the boards. Foster's going to wrangle it in. He's into the zone. Foster centers the pass. It goes across to the far side. Buffalo coming back the other way. Fed it through, and that one goes off the crossbar and out. Puck comes up to Root. Root takes the shot. Puck goes up and over. Buffalo with it on the far side. They're going to dump it in. Comes out to Rahosian and goes to the far side. Rahosian clears it, and now Root turns, and he's going to send it the distance, and that is icing. 10-14 left in period number 2. We're going to face off back in the Rampage zone. Out on the ice, we've got Whitted, Drexel, Banyan, Espirito, and Fewer. Puck bounces up. It's fed down the wall. Bounces around to the far side. Now comes up to the point on the far side. Buffalo's got it. They send it back in. It's knocked down. Up the wall on the far side. Unable to clear. Buffalo holding it at the blue line. Pass down low. And the shot goes up and over. Ends up in the near corner. Puck comes up and out. And not enough for icing. Play will continue. Buffalo has it back in their zone. Up the wall on the near side. Fed out and across. Buffalo coming through. Shot taken. Shields with the save. Espirito changes direction. Fewer gets there, sends it up the boards, and it comes up and just out. That came out, but the linesman standing back here by me. Shields is going to cover it up, and we get a stoppage. 9:19 left in period number 2. You don't want to do that, bud. Out on the ice. Face-off in the Rampage zone. Out on the ice. We've got Whittingham, Dormer, Freitas, Bennett, and Bisley. 9:22 left in period number 2. Just a little bit away from an ice cut. Buffalo sends it up and across. Fed back down low. Oh, shot doesn't get much on it. Ends up wide of the net. Up, and Bisley wrangles it in. He's going to skate it up and out. Bisley feeds it over for Freitas on the near side. Back to Bisley down low. Freitas tries to feed it out front. Puck bounces around out in front of the net. Comes up but not out. Dormer holds it right at the blue line. Dormer with it. Feeds across to Whittingham. Whittingham with a shot. Jack Whittingham, number 2. 8:47 left in period number 2. Rampage go up by a score of 3-0. I tell you what, Jack Whittingham is on fire. In fuego started last weekend. And I am okay if he just keeps that rolling out on the ice. We've got, looks like we're going to the ice cut. So 8:47 left in period number 2, and we will go to an ice cut. So when we come back, face-off will be at center dot. Rampage currently up by a score of 3-0. And we'll take a break. All right, everybody, welcome back as we get ready to start the second half of the second period. Just flooded the ice, and it's still pretty swampy out there. So I think the Stripes are going to hold the boys off. Well, I thought they were going to let the ice refreeze a little bit, but nothing doing. Hey. Currently, the score is 3-0. And a correction to what I said earlier. I said that was Jack Whittingham's second of the night, when indeed I was remembering his goal from earlier this morning. So it's his third of the day if you count his shootout goal. Basically what I'm saying is, I don't know what I'm talking about, but so far we've got goals coming to Jack Whittingham, Tommy Flanagan, and Gavin Dormer. Rampage up by score 3-0, 8:47 left in period number 2. And when we get started, the faceoff should be at the center dot. And this ice is still, I mean, it's more than just a little wet out there. So I expect to see some sticky pucks for the first couple of minutes. Out on ice to get us started for the second half of the second period, we've got Banyan, Whitted, Drexel, Bennett, Bisley, and of course Ryder Shields. So far, the boys taking advantage of a little bit of luck in the first half. So everybody at home, keep those rabbits' feet out, and/or whatever lucky charm you have at home. Whatever it is, it's working. Let's hope that keeps up. Whitted turns the puck around, sends it across. Buffalo with a quick steal. Coming back the other way in the Rampage zone. Shot flips up in the air, ends up back behind the net. Bounces up and out front, and then Banyan's going to wrangle it in. And it puck just sticks right where it is. I knew that was going to be the case. Off the wall, into the zone. Bennett picks it up, sends it up the wall on the near side, comes up. Not out of the zone. Buffalo sends it in. And Shields knocks it to the far wall. Whitted picks up back behind the net, skates to the near side, sends it up the wall, but not out. Now Buffalo takes a shot. Shields with the save. And some more pushing and shoving. Well, that's that same guy, number 9. He's been the one that's starting crap after every. Out on the ice, we've got Butler, Whittingham, Freitas, Dormer, and White. 7:53 left in period number 2. Into the corner. White gets there. Held up on the wall. Buffalo sends it off and pass across, and they're going to put that one in. So with 7:45 left in period number 2, Buffalo gets on the board. Out on the ice, we've got Flanagan, Sarver, Esperito, Fewer, and Judkins. Tied up on the draw, it ends up back in the Rampage zone. Fewer has to race back for it. Sends it up and out. And then Judkins picks it up. Cross to Sarver. Sarver's into the zone. Backhands it towards the goaltenders and to cover it up. We get a stoppage. Face off in the Buffalo zone. Things are heating up a tad. Up to the point. Esperito takes a shot. Goaltender makes a save. Fuhrer sends it down the wall on the near side. Buffalo gets there. Tied up down low. Back behind the Buffalo net, they send it across to the far side, up and out. Esperito gets there, changes direction. Now Buffalo's going to poke it through. Puck comes up and out. And they're going to turn and skate it in on the near side. And now we've got a penalty coming to the Rampage, it looks like. Buffalo with a puck back behind. Puck to the far side, a delayed penalty coming. Buffalo's added an extra attacker on the ice. Centering pass comes through to the near side wall. Rampage just need to tag up. And now they finally do, so we get a stoppage. And we got a penalty coming to Rampage. 6 minutes and 40 seconds left in period number 2. Rampage will be on the penalty kill. Out on the ice to get us started on the PK, we've got Bennett, Bisley, Foster, and Roberts. And unable to clear. And now Roberts is going to poke it up and out. Roberts is going to follow the player into the zone. Buffalo regroups back behind their net. Up center ice. Dump it into the zone. They were offside. Puck comes back towards Shields, who's going to cover it up, and we get a stoppage. 6:13 left in period number 2. 1:34 left on the penalty kill. And we've got Whitted and Whittingham coming out to join Bisley and Bennett. Puck comes up to the point and bounces out. Holy crap. You got to be standing on the line to see that, Stripes. Good Lord. Puck comes out again and then back in. Faceoff will be outside the Rampage zone. Same crew out as before. 1:23 left in the penalty kill. 6:02 in the period. Tied up on the draw. Whittingham's going to send it up and out. Buffalo regroup. Looks like Whitted broke a stick, so he's going to go off in a hurry. Nice poke check by Bennett. Bennett sends it up the wall, up and out. Freitas is in on the forecheck. A couple of other penalty killers getting the change. Buffalo regrouping behind their net. Let's get it down low. Quick shot. Shields with the save. Puck to the near side. A couple of players get tied up and take a slide all the way up and out of the zone. Puck down low. Freitas is in there. Comes to the near side. Buffalo regains. Centers the pass. White picks it up. White's going to send it the distance. Just outside. Just missed the linesman. Buffalo out to neutral. Make a move. They're into the Rampage zone on the near side. Puck bounces way up in the air. Bounces right out front. White is now going to clear it the distance. Just 5 seconds left on the penalty kill. Buffalo is going to regroup behind their net. And Rampage are back at full strength. Buffalo to the far wall. They're going to dump it in the Rampage zone. Give chase. Quick shot. Body's in the way. Now it's going to go to the far wall. Tied up down low. Judkins gets there. Sends it across for Roberts. Roberts wrangles it in. He's in on the near side. Tries to feed it through. Puck comes up the near side wall. Up and out. Buffalo down the near side. Nice poke check by Root. Now it bounces around. Root's going to regain it. He skates up and out. Takes the red line and dumps it in. Buffalo comes up and out. Fewer gets there. Changes direction. And then Dormer picks it up. Buffalo clears the zone all the way back into the Rampage zone with it. Fewer has to come back for it. Sends it up the near side wall for Root. Root turns. Buffalo pokes it, and now Esperito picks it up to Root. Root's across the red line, into the zone now. feeds the puck across, and it's going to end up in the far corner. Puck comes up and out, and Fewer has to come back for it. Fewer makes a move in the corner, sends a stretch pass up to Dormer. Dormer turns with it. He's in the zone. Puck goes towards the goaltender, flips way up in the air, and it comes back. Drexel turns with it. Shot taken, goes off of Banyan and wide. Buffalo turning back, coming back the other way. Quick poke, and now Banyan gets back, sends the puck around to the far side boards. Gets poked, comes out of the zone. Whitted wrangles it in. He's got Banyan with him. Puck goes down into the corner of the far side. Whitted turns with it. Turns, centers it. Drexel takes the shot, goes up and over. Bennett sends it down low. Puck rims around to the far side. Puck gets flipped over to the near side. Buffalo has it out of the zone now. They're going to take the red line and dump it. Puck comes up to the blue line, but not out. Buffalo turns and sends it back in deep. Bisley gets there, turns with it. It's back behind the net, getting cross-checked from, and they're finally going to get a stoppage. And the player that got the very, very clearly penalty is screaming obscenities at the ref for the call. 2:05 left in. Out on the ice to get us started. We've got 2:05 left in the period. Rampage will be on the power play, and we have, looks like, Banyan, Freitas, Whittingham, Dormer, and White. Puck comes across to Dormer. Dormer gets trips from behind, drugged down, and now the puck comes up and just out. Banyan's going to send it back to White. White regroups. I will say this ice is really weird after the ice cut. We have a lot of players of both teams just falling down. Shot, and now the puck's going to get cleared out. 1:35 left on the power play. Dormer has to skate back into his zone and pick it up. Up to Freitas. Freitas pokes it through. Buffalo sends it hard around to the near side. White sends it right back down low. Whittingham ties things up. Banyan comes in to help out. Buffalo gets a stick on it and unable to clear. Puck comes back to Banyan. Feeds it out front. Nobody's home. Buffalo's going to clear it out to neutral ice. Dormer makes a move. Feeds it up the far wall, and now Buffalo's going to clear it the distance. Exactly 1 minute left on the power play. White picks it up behind his net. Skates out from behind the net. White's going to make a move up to Root on the near side. Root's into the zone. He's going to dump it. Rims around to the far side. Drexel is there. Whitted comes in to help out. Drexel wrangles it back in. Feeds it across to Root. Root takes a shot. Goaltender makes a save. And we've got all kinds of apparently, if you're standing in the vicinity of the goaltender, you can just be thrown around, grabbed, spun around. 33 seconds left on the power play, 38.9 in the period. We've got Sarver, Whitted, Drexel, Root, and Butler out on the ice. Puck down low, into the corner now. Out to Whitted. Whitted takes a shot. Goaltender makes a save. He's going to cover it up. Puck goes to the near side wall. It ends up down low in the corner. Bounces up, and now Buffalo's going to flip it up in the air. Comes up and out. Root has to regain control. Sends it across to Butler. Butler up the wall to Whitted. Whitted off the wall looking for Drexel. And now it's in the zone, but Buffalo's going to get there. They clear it out where Root is going to have to regain control. And Buffalo is back in full strength. Only 4 seconds left in the period. And Root is going to kill the clock. He just slashed the linesman. He just slashed the linesman in the shins. Like I said, things are heating. I'm trying. I can't. All right, as we get ready to start period number 3, the score is currently 3-1 in favor of the Rampage. We switch sides again, and trouble.
You're gonna outlaw it.
Hey, good. How are you doing?
Oh, Julie. Got your whole face on it.
Out on the ice to get us started for period number 3. We have Dormer, Whittingham, Bisley, Bennett, and Freitas. Buffalo out of the pile, they into the zone. Quick steal by Freitas and bounces up in the air, and now it comes out of the zone. Buffalo regains control. They have to tag up. We'll send it to the far wall. Pass goes in and then out of the zone. Buffalo's going to skate it in on the near side. And now Freitas feeds it up and out for Dormer. Dormer's in the zone, Whittingham on the near side. Dormer waits it out, takes a shot, goalie gets a piece, and it sails up into the netting and out of play. 16:26 left in the period. Out on the ice, we've got Banyan, Drexel, Whitted, Butler, and White.
Go blue!
Tied up on the draw. It's going to bounce out to the far side to White. White sends it in. Goaltender makes a save. He's going to cover it up. Oh, and it actually was. and you know, I won't fault him for that because I want him to do that for us too. Right. Buffalo picks up the puck, sends it over the near side. They're going to dump it into the zone. Rims are on the boards to the far side. Drexel gets there down low, sends it over to Butler. Butler stretch pass across to Banyan, who's going to drop it for White. White to Banyan, off the stick, into the zone. Buffalo turns with it to the far side. Stretch pass to the near side. Through neutral, into the Rampage zone. Puck ends up low in the corner. Sarber gets a stick on it and just unable to clear. Puck comes up, Whitted turns, he's going to fire it, that'll be icing. But the Rampage desperately needed to clear it and get a change, so. I stopped looking after it went across, but I think it must have bounced back because I think he threw it down pretty wide. Anyway, 15:34 left in period number 3 out on the ice. We've got Judkins, Flanagan, Sarver, Espirito, and Fewer. Puck rims around to the far side. Judkins picks it up. He turns, feeds it off the boards, looking for Sarver. Sarver just got a little tripped up on his way in. Flanagan off the boards, feeds it towards the goaltender, makes a save. A player, Espirito, regains control. He's going to dump it in. Rampage have to tag up. Up the near side. Quick steal by Roberts. Roberts is back into the zone. Quick move. He's going to get to the far wall. Turns, tries to center the pass, and ends up down in the corner. Buffalo picks up the puck on the far side. They're going to dump it in. Ends up low in the corner. Bisley up the wall on the near side. He gets poked up to the point, but not out. Stays down low. Bennett gets there. Rides the puck to the far side wall. Foster pokes it, and it comes up and out of the zone. Buffalo regroups. They're going to dump it back in on net. Shields is going to leave it for Bennett. Bennett makes a move to the outside. And now Foster pokes it, comes up the wall, and Roberts turns with it, just can't get a hold of it. All kinds of rumbling, tumbling, stumbling. Shot from the point goes wide of the net to the far wall. Shot doesn't make it through. Now Bennett's going to turn and ice it. And we get a whistle. 13:56 left in period number 3. And it's
Like, really?
and we've got players yelling, "Are you dumb?" at the ref. You know, at some point, you get penalties for John at the ref. After the whistle, there's a little extracurricular because Mason Root was playing with the puck after the stoppage. On the ice, we've got Butler, Whittingham, Friedis, White, and Dormer. Puck goes down low, it rims around to the near side. Butler's going to get there, feeds it up for Whittingham. Whittingham turns with it. And puck gets poked back out again. Buffalo coming back the other way. Into the zone on the near side. Poked up the wall, looking for Whittingham. Whittingham clears it. Buffalo comes out, grabs the puck. You know, at some point you can blow the whistle for that crap. Whittingham clears it. He gets held and dragged down, and now we get a whistle for it. So with 13:12 left in period number 3, Rampage are going to go into power play. I don't know. I just have noticed that. I'm not sure. I just know that there have been a lot of. He's been involved in a lot of the after the whistle stuff. Out on the ice to get us started on the power play, we've got Friedis, Banyan, Dormer, Whittingham, and White.
Let's go, boys.
Puck comes up to White at the point. He's going to hold it, regroup. White sends it down to Whittingham, up to Friedis. Friedis skates to the far side, drops it for White. White makes a move out front. Shot taken. Goaltender makes a save. Friedis rings it in. Shot goes off a body. Banyan on the far side. Centers the pass, bouncing around. It's going to end up in the near corner. Now Buffalo up to the point, over to White. Back to White. Down to Friedis. Across to Whittingham. Whittingham takes a shot. Oh, it took a bounce, but goalie got a piece. Goalie's without a stick right now. Whittingham feeds it in from up top. Friedis takes a shot. Goalie makes a save. It ends up back behind. Friedis skates to the near side. Up to White. White feeds it down. Puck back behind. The Buffalo's now going to send it up and out and clear it. 1 minute left on the power play. White picks it up behind his net. He's going to skate it up and out. Nope. He's going to regroup. Now he's going to skate it up and out. Sends it over to Root on the far side. Root makes a move. He's into the zone. Puck gets poked up and out of the zone. Butler gets there. Sends it across looking for Sarver. Sarver has to come back for it. Back over to Butler. Butler stretch pass for Root off the stick and comes back to Butler. He's going to skate to the far side. Chip it into the zone. Puck goes down low. Whitted doing battle back behind the net. And Drexel picks it up. And we've got another penalty coming to Buffalo. And now they're going to clear it, and we get the call. So with 11:21 left in the period, Rampage would be 5-on-3 power play for 10 seconds, followed by 1:50 the 5-on-4 time. Out on the ice to get us started on the power play, we've got Dormer, Whittingham, Friedis, White, and Butler. to Butler at the point. Cross to White. Over to Butler. Shot taken goes up and over. It's going to rim around the boards. White gets there to keep it in the zone. Buffalo are at 4 now. Up to White at the point. Fed down low. Sticks in the way. It's going to go to the far side. Buffalo coming back the other direction. Butler sends it across to the near side. White's going to regroup in his zone. Feeds it up looking for Whittingham. Gets tied up on the near side boards. White's going to skate back over to the far side. Back to White. Up the boards to Sarver. Goes off a stick, and then Buffalo's going to send it deep into the Rampage zone. Drops for White. White's going to skate to the near side. Up to Root. 1:08 left on the power play. Root skates through. Poke check. And Buffalo coming back the other way. Into the Rampage zone. Offside, but no call. Play continues. It goes down low into the corner. Bisley's going to pick it up. Bisley feeds it up to Sarver. Sarver sauces it across. Looking for Root. It doesn't connect. It goes into the zone, and Buffalo's going to send it up and out. 45 seconds left on the power play. Bisley's going to regroup in his zone. Skates to the far side, feeds it up to Bennett. Bennett takes a red line, and Buffalo with a poke check is going to send it out. 29 seconds left on the power play, and we'll get some fresh skaters out on the ice. Root picks it up. He's going to skate it up the near side into the Buffalo zone. Buffalo's going to clear it up and out. Bisley has to come in back into the zone for it. Sends it across to Cooper. Good Lord, I'm all tongue-tied. Into the zone. Down low. 5 seconds left on the power play. Puck comes up and out of the zone. Rahojan back to Espirito, and Buffalo's back in full strength. Espirito to Fewer. Feeds it into the zone. Roberts giving chase on the forecheck. Buffalo picks it up in the near side. Pass across, and then Espirito with a poke check. A little back and forth at neutral. Puck comes across to the near side. Puck tied up back behind the net. Buffalo gets there, and they feed it out front, and that's going to be a goal. So with 8:43 left in period number 3, Buffalo gets another one on the board and cuts the lead to 1. Out on the ice, we've got Judkins, Flanagan, Banyan, Butler, and White. Buffalo wins the draw back into their zone. The puck bounces back into the Rampage zone. Buffalo player wrangles it in, sends the puck wide of the net. Judkins is going to clear it out to neutral. Buffalo turns, fires it back in on net, and Shields is just going to cover up as he had players advancing. Out on the ice, we've got Dormer, Friedis, Whittingham, Butler, and White. Buffalo wins the draw across to the far side point. Shot bounces off a stick, and then out, and Friedis is into the zone on the far side. Quick shot. Goaltender makes a save. Puck ends up back behind. Buffalo through neutral into the Rampage zone. Puck ends up low in the corner. It's going to go to the far side corner. Bennett up to Friedis off a skate and then out of the zone. Buffalo coming back the other direction. Feeds it across to the near side. Up to the point, but not out. Now it comes over to Banyan to Drexel. Drexel's through one-on-one. He's into the zone. Drexel takes a shot. Goaltender makes a save, and he lost sight of it, but he had it. 7:36 left in period number 3. We'll get a face-off in the Jr Sabres zone. Out on the ice, we've got Drexel, Whitted, Banyan, Fewer, and White. Tied up on the draw, goes towards the goaltender, turns it aside into the corner. Whitted sends it down low, back up to Drexel. Drexel makes a move. Buffalo sends it up and out. Fewer with the steal. He turns it around. And now Banyan's going to send it into the Buffalo zone. Buffalo has it down low, sends it up the near side wall. Whitted gets there, turns with it off the wall, makes a quick move. He's back into the zone. He's going to flip it down low and give chase. Buffalo sends it around to the far side boards. Comes up to the point and out. Drexel wrangles it back in. Turns and fires. Rampage getting the change. Puck comes up and out. Esperito changes direction. Now Buffalo coming back into the zone on the far side. Quick poke check. Sarver's going to clear the zone with it. Buffalo with it in their own zone. Up the near side wall. They take the red line. They're going to chip it in. Buffalo gets there, feeds it out front. Sarver is going to flip it up and out, and he's going to go for a change. Buffalo with it in his zone. And we've got some craziness going on down low that I didn't see how it got set up. I did not see how the entanglement happened. 6:19 left in period number 3. And it looks like... So is it Espo that's in the box, I'm assuming? He was the one in the area. Yeah. All right, Rampage going back on the penalty kill. 6:19 left in the period. Out on the ice to get us started on the PK, we've got Foster, Whittingham, Bisley, and Bennett. Tied up on the draw. Buffalo gets it up to the point, over to the near side. Head down low. Back to the top of the circle. Body's in the way. Puck ends up in the corner. Fed down low. Out front, bouncing around. Buffalo regains control. Still in the zone. Up to the point. Cross to the far side. Shot. Shields with the save. It's going to end up back behind. Buffalo regains control of the puck. They skate to the far side. Up the wall to the point. Cross to the near side. Back across to the far side. Sauced across to the near corner. Up to the point. Buffalo wrangles it back in. Feeds it down low. Bounces out front. And that shot goes wide of the net. We got some tired penalty killers out there. We just need to clear desperately. That one came out of the line. At least he was standing on the line this time. Down to the circle. Skates in the way. Shot. Goes wide of the net. And now that one's finally going to get cleared out. Thank goodness. 4:56 left in the period and 35 seconds left on the penalty kill. Rampage gets some fresh PK skaters out on the ice. Banyan on the forecheck. Off of a stick. And Butler with the steal. He's going to sauce it to the far corner. 18 seconds left on the penalty kill. Buffalo up the far wall. Into the zone. Lose the handle. And Freeman gets it, Butler, gets a poke check, and he's going to clear it the distance. Rampage are going to kill this penalty. They're back in full strength, and they'll get some fresh skaters out on the ice as well. Buffalo to the near side wall. Up and out of the zone, and back into the Rampage zone. Butler across to White. White takes the red line. He's going to chip it in. Puck down low and back behind the net. Judkins is doing battle. Buffalo gets there. They skate it up and out. Cross to the near side. Into the Rampage zone. Centering pass. Puck comes back up to Roberts, who's going to clear it up and out to neutral. Buffalo dumps it back in. They're getting a change. Bennett skates to the far side. Sends it up and out of the zone, and now comes back in to White, who's going to clear it up, looking for Dormer off his stick into the Buffalo zone. Just under 3.5 minutes left in the game. Whittingham sends it down low for Dormer. Dormer tries to sauce it out front. Buffalo gets sticks in the way, and now the puck's going to come out to neutral. Rampage dumping back in. They have to tag up. Bisley skates it in, makes a move. He's down low. He's going to chase it into the corner. 3 minutes left. Puck back behind the Buffalo net. It's going to go to the far side corner. Cross to the near side. Freitas turns and is going to dump it. Rampage have to tag up. They're going to go for a change. Puck comes up, back into the Rampage zone. White has it, sends it off the boards, up and out to neutral. Back into the Rampage zone. Pass across. Bandy gets there, clears it up and out of the zone. Buffalo regroups at neutral, takes the red line. They're going to dump it in on net, and Shields is going to cover it up. Yeah. 2 minutes, 26 seconds left in period number 3. We'll get a face-off in the Rampage zone. Out on the ice, we've got Banyan, Foster, Drexel, Butler, and White. Drexel gets there. He's going to clear it up and out. Drexel puts it into the zone, sends it across looking for Banyan. It's going to bounce across. Banyan sends it down low. Tied up back behind. Buffalo sends it to the near side. Into the Rampage zone. Poke check. And then Butler sends it up the wall. Comes back to Drexel. Drexel feeds it through for Butler. Butler makes a move. He's in the zone. Butler has some room. Goaltender makes a save on the breakaway shot. 1:51 left in the game. I'll tell you what, Freeman Butler is having himself one heck of a game tonight, in this humble broadcaster's opinion. Out on the ice, we've got Whittingham, Freitas, Dormer, Bisley, and White. Tied up on the draw, bouncing around. It's going to go to the far wall. Up the wall on the near side. Pass across, goes into the Buffalo bench. Heads up, everybody. 1:41 left in the game. Seen Crows before. We've got Whittingham, Dormer, Freitas, Bisley, and White. Down low into the corner. Whittingham gets there, feeds it out front. Just didn't quite connect. White sends it down low. Whittingham's in there. Freitas as well. Puck out front. Goaltender makes a save. Puck comes out to Bisley. Bisley's going to turn and dump it. Rampage tag up. Goaltender holds it up for his defenseman. Buffalo sends it to the far wall. Up and out. They're into the Rampage zone. Pass across is going to end up in the far corner. White gets there. He makes a quick move. He's going to backhand it out of the zone. Gets slide tackled. 1:06 left in the period. Buffalo's going to dump it into the near side corner. Bisley sends it up the wall on the near side. Takes a weird bounce. It's going to bounce up and out. Oh, Buffalo has pulled their goaltender. Puck down low on the near side. Comes up. Back into the Rampage zone. White gets there. He's going to skate to the far side. Sends it off the boards. Not out. Puck bouncing around. Whitted turns. Can't fire it out of the zone. Buffalo sends it down low. Shot goes wide of the net. Drexel sends it off the boards. It's bouncing. It's going to go. Buffalo's going to get there first. 25 seconds left. Puck still in the zone, and now it's going to come out to neutral. Buffalo coming back the other way. Centering pass goes across, and the far side comes out of the zone. 13 seconds left. Quick steal. Banyan turns. Can't send it. Buffalo coming back the other way. And then that one's going to get flipped into the zone. 2-1. Time expires on period number 3. Your score after 3 is 3-2 in favor of the Rampage. And somebody from Buffalo takes a cheap shot at Gavin Dormer after the buzzer, and I'll give you guesses as to which number it was. And what could they possibly be mad about?
2 seconds left. 2 seconds left.
Oh my God, what are they talking about?
We iced the puck, they blew the whistle, there should be 2 seconds left on the clock. They said 2 seconds, but no, it was 2.
All right. Well, in another game that got very heated there as it went on, Rampage come out victorious. So congratulations, folks. Currently 2-0 on the weekend. And we will see you guys tomorrow at, I think it's about 1 o'clock Eastern time. So roughly 11 o'clock back home in Colorado.